Hey guys, this is Nora, and I am here to talk to you guys about a haunted experience that I had while I was on the job. Now, I am a real estate agent and I show houses for a living. I open doors to different homes, whether new or old, multifamily, you name it. Now, this happened to me about a year ago. I had a client who was looking for a multifamily home. And so we had set an appointment to go and view a multifamily property out in St. Paul, Minnesota. Now, keep in mind, a lot of these homes that are built in the St. Paul area are very old. They're Victorian old 2-story homes. This was a home that was built in the early 1900s that they converted over into a duplex. I'd set the schedule. I got to the property. Unfortunately, there wasn't enough parking for me, so I had to park 2 blocks away from this home, and I had to walk to this property. I waited and I walked around the home a couple times outside. I waited until it was time to open up the doors and to meet with my clients. I didn't see them come through yet, and it was already the time to start our showing. So I decided, okay, let me just go and take a look inside myself while I wait for them. So that way when they come, I can let them know like some of the things that I've seen, like any issues or whatnot. So I opened up the door. As soon as I got into this home, I just felt this heaviness and kind of like I was being consumed, but I try to ignore it because I'm like, look, I am here to do my job, and my job is not to be afraid and to show people homes, so I had to put my brave face on, and I got in there. I just proceeded to walk through the first level, which was the first unit of the duplex. And so I walked through it and I was like, okay, not bad, pretty spacious, still old, minor updates. Okay, let's head on upstairs. The really weird thing already was as I walked upstairs, the key got stuck in the lock. And so I was fighting and I was struggling with the knob. I'm like, okay, this is so weird. I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I panicked and I gave it a little, I gave it like 30 seconds before I proceeded to fidget with it again, and nothing. So I had called the agent. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to enter your second unit upstairs. However, the key is stuck. Does this normally happen? And the agent was like, yeah, it's happened a few times. You're just going to have to kind of, wiggle it left and right a few times and hopefully it opens up for you. I'm like, okay. So I do that and then the door opens. I'm like, interesting. So I walk through the upper unit and I'm like, okay, there's definitely something strange. I definitely felt something very, very heavy in the second upstairs unit. But again, with my brave face on, I just ignored it. I walked downstairs and I looked at my time and I'm like, okay, my clients are really late. It's already been 15 minutes. Let me give them a call before our showing's up. So I call them. I'm like, hey, where are you guys at? I'm already here at the property. I've been here for 15 minutes. Just give me an ETA. And they're like, oh yeah, I'm so sorry. Like, we're running late. We'll be there in like 5 minutes. So I'm like, okay, I'm not about to go and walk to my car 2 blocks down again and come back. So I decided to just go and wait outside. I felt already extremely uneasy in the home, and I was like, I'm not going to wait inside this house. So I walked outside, and on the side of the home, there was a side door with a storm door. Granted, it was a sunny day, no winds, nothing. I am walking to check the siding of the home, and as I passed the side door, all of a sudden the storm door blasts open like it was trying to hit me. it was inches away from hitting me. I was terrified. I was like, I don't know what the heck this hocus pocus is, but whatever you are, you need to get away from me. You need to stay where you are and do not interfere with me, my presence, my clients. Like, you know, I'm here for good reasons. I'm not here to cause any harms, etc. So I was just, I was startled. I was really scared. I was terrified. I walked around to the back of the house and I'm like, I felt like something was staring at me out the window. And with the heavy feeling I got as I walked through this duplex, you know, I just felt like it was just shadows, you know, just shadows trying to hover over me like, hey, what are you doing? Like, you know, I just did not feel good at all. So I went and waited and sat in front of the home at the steps, and my clients had pulled up to the home, and I greeted them. I was professional. I didn't mention a single thing, a single feeling, a single experience that I had within that, 20 minutes that they were not there. I opened the door for them. I let them do their thing, walk around both units, and we were heading down to the basement. As we headed down to the basement, all of a sudden there's this really old school style wedding dress. Like, you could tell it's so old because it was no longer white. It was literally just hanging downstairs in the basement all by itself. There was nothing else. Like, granted, this whole multifamily property was empty. Okay, no one lived there. And yet there's this old wedding dress just hanging downstairs in this basement. And we all scream. We screamed, we jumped, and then I just tried to calm the situation. I'm like, oh, okay, someone probably left their wedding dress. And all of a sudden, my client turns around and is like, Nora, have you ever walked into a property where you felt like it was haunted? And I looked at my client and I was already spooked out, but I looked at my client and I was like, speaking of which, this is one of them. And I already knew that they were both already scared. So we kind of just skedaddled out of there. I locked everything up. In my culture, it is custom for us to call our spirits back home with us and not allow any other entities to follow us home. So I sat there and I called myself back home. I said, whatever it is needs to stay where it's at and not follow me. I locked up. I got into the car and I had a Palo Sano stick. So I made sure to burn that really quick and, just kind of use the fumes to cleanse my car, myself, my environment, and then I headed off to the next showing. So that was just a haunting experience that I had while on the job doing real estate. I mean, it's not really easy. There are lots of things that you can encounter and you can especially feel. I've felt all kinds of ways in different properties that I've seen. I've seen over hundreds and hundreds of properties here in the Minneapolis, St. Paul area. And you just know when there's things lingering around in the home. And like I said, it's custom for me to, when I have these feelings, and weird encounters, I always make sure to call myself back home. So yeah, there goes one of my haunting experiences for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and please like and subscribe. Talk to you guys soon.